Hello, everyone, and welcome to Confessions of a Business Analyst with Teso Adorowa. This is episode 5, and we are going to be talking about the requirements gathering nightmare. As usual, I have a guest who is going to kill it. I have Dominica Izunobi, and she is a business analyst and also a career coach, meaning she knows what she does very well. And today we're going to hear her confess about the requirements gathering nightmare. Don't let me say too much. Dominica is here, and in case I call her Marachi along the way, is also her name, right? So Dominica is here, and we'll get to meet her. Hello, Dominica.
Hello, so thanks for having me. My name is Dominica, and I don't even know. I suck at introductions, but yeah, just in case you're coming across my video, you're hearing me for the very first time. My name is Dominica Izinobi, and I'm a business analyst based in Vilnius, Lithuania. And do I say where I'm from? Yeah, I'm from Nigeria, definitely. And what else to say about me? Nothing. Okay, I'm a
You,
business
you told us
analyst,
you're a career
and I've
coach.
been okay. Yeah, as well. Yeah, I'm also a career coach. Also, I coach and mentor aspiring mid-career professionals in business analysis. So I would say, do I? Is it the point where I talk about how I ventured into business analysis, or
Exactly. Yeah, we want to know your BA story, how you became a business analyst.
um my BA story is not the the best story, but I would just say for me, I was hungry basically. I was hungry for more. I was hungry for everything. I didn't have help. I just knew I needed something different. So I remember them. I finished NYSC and I needed a job, and all the jobs I was getting then were sales development, business development, and the pay then was 50K, 70K, max 100K. If you're not so lucky, if God now bless you very very well, 150K, and I knew like there could be more. And I think at as of then, I was even working in like a real estate company then, and I remembered that month because I will never forget because that was the month of June that year, and because I know I just finished my birthday, and they just my boss came into the office that day and said he was not going to pay your salary again. It was just going to be strictly by commission. So anything, so it's only when you make sales, and you know how the whole real estate market can be in Abuja. Uh, and I remember it was almost like laying us off, but laying us off in a very nice way. So I remember going home that day and
Nice.
exactly in a very nice way, because imagine just tell us you don't want us anymore. Which one is you're not going to? It's only when we make sales that you're going to pay us. So, and how much was
Mm,
even the salary? 50K. Looking back, so I don't even know how I was able to survive with that money because I was doing a lot with that 50K. So I remember going home that day and I was thinking, what are my options? What am I going to do? Like I needed a change. I needed something different. And I remembered I had this neighbor that whenever I'm going to work, he's always at home. Then he had a logistics business. He had like dispatch riders and all of that. And he was very young. I think we are pretty like almost in the same age. And I would always ask this guy, like, what do you do? I was even thinking maybe he was doing fraud or doing like, what do you do? You're always at home, you don't go out. What do you do? And he said he's a software developer. Well, what's that? Like, he said he's a software developer. He works with a UK company and all of that. And so I remember that day that I was frustrated and I was just sitting at home. I was on the WhatsApp status and I saw a training on his WhatsApp saying his boss business analysis, intro to business analysis, project management, and data analysis. I remember clearly. And I think the training was to be like in 2 weeks' time. So I remember sending him a message saying, what's this about? I'm interested and all of that. So he just told me, oh, his boss is coming to the country and he just wants to do like a mini workshop, mini webinar and all of that. So he sent me the link, I registered and I saved the date for the 2 weeks. So after the D-Day for the event, I attended and it was, the way all those things go now, they'll share testimonials, they'll do this. So I think that was literally like the first time I heard about business analysis in my life. I know I've always heard about project management, data analysis, but business analysis, that was really like new. And people were sharing their testimony, like guys in the UK, how they took the training and they transitioned and all of that. And I was just, how much is this going to cost? Because as a young girl that don't even have a job, so how much is this training going to cost? So I remember everything. He now finally said,
Right.
yeah, he now finally said,
As long as the outcome is income, you were in for it.
no, I was in. Like I was
Oh,
in. Like I was so hungry. So I said, he was just telling us testimonials of people earning 20 money, six figures. Oh, God, how much will you charge us? Just tell us. So finally, he now said the training was going to cost 150K as of then. That 150K was like 5 million in my ear.
that's your 3 month salary that you were not getting any longer.
Exactly. Like the money was like, I didn't even. Where did I see five? Where did I see 150K for? We did not have. So my salary was 100K. Oh my god! So I just knew that I wanted to do this so bad. And okay, he now said we could pay in installment, maybe first installment 100, but we should show like commitment. And I remembered the money I had in my savings was 100K, or my widow's mite was that 100K. I remember going home, I was thinking, I went to meet my neighbor, the guy that introduced me to the training. I asked him, I said, are you sure this is not a scam? Are you sure it's not they will not take my money and run? He now gave me the confidence that that if anything happens, or if I don't get value for my money, he was going to refund my 100K. So that was the only confidence that I needed to do that thing. But okay, I finally committed the 100K. I did not I did not allow that man sleep again. He lost, I'm very sure he lost his peace because of me, because I remember I disturbed him. Like when the training started, if the lecturer says A, I will write A down. Like I made sure I collected the value for my 100K. Like I did not even allow them have a single breathing space. But yeah, it started it was a 6 weeks training, and we finished the first 6 weeks. But I was not only relying on what I was learning in class. So when they teach, I would go. I didn't have a job, so I had like a lot of time. So I would sleep on YouTube morning to night. So whatever they teach me, I will go back and watch it. And my favorite channel was analyst Carly's the business analyst. I would sleep on her content. Like every of our videos, I watched everything. And you know how YouTube works? Once you start to watch one, they start to suggest others to you. So I
Yeah,
would
the
I would
algorithm
yeah,
would send like videos to you.
I would consume content, like to the point. If I'm not so clear, I will go back to the tutor. I'll say, what do you? I'll be asked like, see this girl in just 6 weeks. Like I was already like talking business analysis terms. I was getting value for my money. So I think at the end of the 6 weeks, like the tutor was really impressed with my the way I turned, the way I presented, because at the end of the 6 weeks you do like we're learning with like live case study. So we did like a live
Yeah,
presentation on,
capstone presentation
yeah,
or something like
exactly.
that.
So we did PRDs, we worked on projects, how we like amongst ourselves. So during the presentation, I even so I think after the end of the presentation, he was really so impressed. And I remember him sending me a message after the class and saying he wanted me to come work for him. So I didn't get to pay that 50K again. So they started paying me instead. So I graduated from having no job to learning business analysis, and now getting to work remotely for the training company. So I was working for him as like project support. So yeah. So they had like different things going on. So they wanted me like to come on board. So then it was like a lot. Imagine me graduating from going to the office every day, earning 50K salary, to now I was working from the comfort of my home. I think earning that same 50K that I was. So then it was like a lot to me. Like, so I was already seeing like potential in this thing. So even with what I was doing, plus the training didn't end after 6 weeks. So after the 6 weeks, we started internship. So in terms of working on projects. So in as much I was working for him, I was still like learning. I'll check job descriptions of business analysis. Oh, what can I do? What can I not do? Okay, there's something that does not really sit well with me, there's still work to be done. I'll go back to
You
learn.
go and learn.
I'll go back
Yeah.
to learn. Like I was just checking different JDs. If I can, if it's something that I know, it's okay. I know this. I know this. I know. If it's something that I don't know, I'm going back. I'm going back to learn. So yeah, I was working for him. I was still taking my course, and until then, and I started LinkedIn. Then after I know that, okay, I think to an extent I know this thing now. Then I came back to LinkedIn to position, network. I built my resume and I was applying for jobs. Rejections, oh, I got a lot. Unfortunately, oh, it was a lot. Like I ate that for breakfast, I ate that for lunch, I ate that for dinner. But it didn't deter me really because I knew literally like what was ahead of me. So I kept applying, 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 and this was say June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, I got my first BA role with a UK company, and I remember my first salary was 250K. That money was like the money was like the money was like, imagine you going from 50K to 250, like that money
Five
was
times. Five times.
good. Like I'd made
Yeah.
the best money of my life. So I moved from that.
Mm.
So then I knew like, there's potential in this thing. So from
Yeah.
there, I grew, and I also started working like so in Nigeria. I was working like I had like maybe three other jobs. So my money was really big. So yeah, I would
Big
say
and long.
so I would say that was literally like the way my life changed. And I remember even when I was working in real estate, even the manager that sacked me, I don't even think his salary was 250K. So like I would say that whole single decision of um deciding to learn business analysis, that's it changed my life. That's why till tomorrow I'm still like I'm very passionate about this tech gospel. Like I feel like if you don't have connection and you don't want to do fraud, you don't want to do wrong things, then learning a high income skill is like the best way to change your life. And 2 years later, I traveled like I moved abroad to do my masters. I'm still working as a business analyst. I'm helping people. So like just that single decision to learn to just lock in and learn a skill, and it has given me the opportunity to work with different kind of people. I've worked with different organizations. I've worked in consulting, I've worked in reinsurance, I've worked in insurance, I've worked in manufacturing. So just them, it's very funny how just one single decision that we decide to make can change the trajectory or the course of our life. So yeah, that's my little
Hmm.
story.
Very
Yeah.
inspiring. So, can we now say thanks to hunger?
Thanks to hunger. That's why sometimes when I because I create content right on
Yeah.
transitioning, being a business analyst, and some people say I don't think it's for me. I don't think I can do it, and I just see you're not hungry enough. You don't have a strong why, and it's easy to most times when people say tech money, tech bros and tech sis, it's easy to admire the money and oh they earn this amount, but when they tell you the amount of work they put into their craft,
Mm.
they deserve their flowers. So most times people do 1 month. Sometimes like I have people send me DMs and say, oh please give me, I want to do this, I want to do that. And maybe I share them like a roadmap on okay, so this is a roadmap that you can follow. 1 month, maybe I go back and say, how is it going? I don't think this thing is for me. And I'll just laugh. I say
Ah,
you don't have a strong
some of
why.
some of them don't even reply me after that. So after I give them a roadmap, they look at it and they don't reply. So they feel like, oh, it's something you can just easily do and just change from being hungry one day, like a Marachi in her room, and becoming a super rich the next day. It doesn't work. It has to come with a lot of commitment, and
You
which
do.
it showed. You put in your money, you put in your
Mhm.
time. You didn't rely on what you were learning in class. You did a
Nah,
lot
I
of
don't.
research, which is what I tell a lot of people. You can't just get one source of knowledge and say, "Oh, I know a lot." You need to learn. You need to research on your own to improve on the knowledge you have. Thanks to
Yeah.
hunger, right? Your story is
Exactly.
very inspiring,
The
and
hunger. So most people.
you know,
So if you're watching this and you're contemplating about moving into a new field, changing your skills, it's possible. Everything is possible in life. I think my favorite word,
mm-hmm,
my favorite mantra is impossible is nothing. I feel
mm,
you can be anything you want to be as long as you commit to it, as long as you decide to lock in, ignore the distractions, and just focus. But most times a lot of people would rather doom scroll on social media rather than rather than focus, and they'll ask you, I want. So most times I just even I see the DMs I respond to, or when someone come to me and tell me, oh, I've done this and this, can you do this? Because most times people just, it's just easy to, maybe when they see the results they want to just, oh, I think I want to do this, help me do this. And
wishful talking, like they just wish, they don't want to take action.
they don't lock in, they come back with excuses, oh, I don't have this, oh, I don't have this. Start with what you have. I think I didn't even have it. I didn't even have a laptop. Yes, I started with my phone. Yes, I didn't have it. I remember then I didn't have money. I didn't have, I remember it was my friend at that time that bought me a laptop that I used to start. So just start with what you have. Start with a phone. At least you can watch YouTube on your phone. That time you want to use to do Instagram, you have Instagram. See, there will be a lot of content that you can consume, or you don't even need to. Don't if it's gonna overwhelm you, start with 30 minutes a day, 1 hour a day, baby steps,
Hmm.
and build momentum as you go along the way. You don't start
The
with, you're starting a
temptation,
new part. You now start with 2 hours. You sleep off. You sleep
the
off.
temptation on Instagram is so much. These people will tell you you don't understand,
What's there
right?
to understand?
Especially the younger guys. But it's okay. It is inspiring to understand that, despite all the challenges, right? You would have, in fact, yourself told you no at some point. I think one
Yeah,
of the things that helped was your neighbor who gave you a guarantee: if this training doesn't
yeah.
work, come back for your money.
True.
So and we all need that push. That push can come from us ourselves, or getting a reassurance from somebody who is experienced, in that field, which is why I find what you do very, very amazing as well. Coaching people, help telling them you can do this thing, don't just think it's difficult to do. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. So, to the topic of today, the requirements gathering nightmare. We can all
Mm,
understand that, when we get into requirement gathering, talking to stakeholders, trying to understand what they want, it can be some very chaotic, you know, um, environment to be in. So, our first question, I want to know, um, I know you've had a lot of requirement gathering session. Which one is the worst you've had? And what is it that made it that bad? What is it that made it a nightmare? Yeah. So you can just take us back to that very
mm.
chaotic nightmare requirement gathering session.
Thinking about it, like I just remember the one that like I came out more confused, and there are times where you encounter these things, and if you don't really know, if you are not like self grounded in who you are, you begin to doubt yourself. Like, did I know my work like this?
Or is it me? Am I insane? Like,
Like, did I know my work? Like, am I sure that I'm okay? Am I going to lose my job? Like, what's happening? So I remember them. So the worst one I would say, I've had several, but this one that I would say I won't forget was, it wasn't necessarily about like technology or maybe the solution we wanted to implement. It was more about like the people, like the, because stakeholders is you're managing people, so it's how are you manage the people, that's what's going to lead to the kind of outcome that you're going to get. So I remember them
totally.
walking into the session where the sponsor and the end users, they had like completely different visions of what was going to be done. Like, so you people are confused. So I should be the one that will figure it out for you guys. So, one group wanted something else. Another group wanted they just wanted easy peasy. They wanted like a simple fix to just help them solve like their spreadsheet problem. And within 15 minutes, the room was literally like a mini battle zone. And this one was saying this, like, what is happening here? How am I supposed to manage all of you like this? Like, I mean, I thought I had dotted my I's, crossed my T's and everything, because no common practice for me is I tend to like send them agenda ahead of time to like keep guys I am so that they have like an idea of what we're going to be talking about. And I don't know if they didn't look at the mail or they didn't look at the agenda, and we came in and
I, I'll tell
it
you,
was
they
like
saw it and they said to themselves, "Don't worry, we're waiting for you. Come, come."
we're gonna frustrate you today. Like it was as if it was like a mini battle zone. Nobody was listening. Everybody was defending their position. Why what they want is important. Why they should like it was crazy. And I was just there as the business analyst looking at them right in the middle, trying to literally like scribble down notes to like hear because it was really crazy because we're not even talking about technology. We're trying to manage the people first so that everybody can we can meet at the middle ground and find like a way to find a way around that. It was a serious nightmare for me because there was literally like no alignment and there was no shared understanding. And it made me because we didn't really achieve like anything that day. I left the room thinking um requirement gathering is literally like almost like a therapy session because I was hey God, like I was at that point I was like thinking maybe like was I in Europe because it's consulting, right? So when it comes to consulting, you deal with different clients. You don't even know the kind of if it's different maybe when you're working like an organization where you know that okay, it's like an in-house change that we are trying to handle. So that was it for me. And I'll say the biggest lesson from all of that, because I think for me when I encounter such situations, whether in my career, in my life, I try to, instead of focus on the problem, I just try to say what are you trying to teach me in this with this whole chaos and this whole situation. So I think the biggest lesson for me is never gather people in a room without first understanding their motivations and expectations individually. Because I feel like maybe if I took the blame for myself, maybe if I had tried to narrow down or dig deep into like the kind of people that I was gonna be like interviewing or gathering requirement for, maybe it would have helped me like manage my expectations, manage all of that chaos that happened that day. So yeah, that was like one standout nightmare for me.
Well, very valuable lesson. I think what I one of sorry, one of the lessons I get from here is that never gather people together without understanding their motivations, which is
Yeah.
I mean, it's struck really hard. There are stakeholders in the project, and some of them come with different motivations for why they want that project to happen. And in fact, there are some stakeholders who don't want the project to happen, but they
Very
are just
correct.
disguising, so you need to understand their motivations individually and know how to manage them, and so that it doesn't seem like you're supporting one stakeholder group and ignoring the other. That's very valid. I mean, I never thought of it that way, but now that you say it, it makes a lot of sense. I'm going to use it. Right now, that leads us to the next questions. So are there situations,
Okay.
right? Sorry, are there situations where a requirement gathering session was going south? Of course, we know with this one, it kind of ended the
Yeah.
south sideways. So when there are confusions, when there's conflict in a requirement gathering session, what are those things you can do to bring everybody back on board and restore normalcy?
So when I experienced that maybe in a session where things start to go sideways, conflict is beginning to come up, tensions are beginning to like spur up. I just literally just most times my favorite word is see I think it's how do I even used to say that thing? I think okay, let's take a step back, guys. I want to make sure that we're all solving the same problem here because I don't understand what's going on. So yeah, I think so there was a time during a banking project that I had the room was getting so tensed that we were almost like raising voices and all of that. And you could literally like feel the walls and sweating, and people were arguing over which department had the real problem. And it was almost literally almost turning into chaos. And I remember them, I calmly, because business analysis will test your patient. Like that's a good. You're gonna test, it's going to bring to test your strengths, how patient you need to be, patient, like patient. So I remember I calmly just brought back everyone by just drawing a simple process flow about what we were trying to achieve on the whiteboard. I'm a very, very visual person. I like to write a lot, just scribble out things and just visualize so that everybody gets to see like a clearer picture of what we want to do. And so I showed like the current state, and suddenly people were now calm, trying to see like, okay, they were seeing like a visual of what we're trying to achieve. And I think with that, calmness was restored to that position, because I think visual does a lot. So instead of just talking, so that whole step of visualizing what we wanted to do, helped to restore peace and calmness to that situation. So my move, my favorite move or my go-to move is always to basically visualize when words get messy, because I feel picture always brings clarity. So yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. So technically, what you did was, let's come back to the problem of the day. All
Yeah.
this ego you people are carrying all over the place is not the problem. Let's solve the issue on ground, which is
Exactly.
a fantastic one to do, right? Let's go, but let's take a step back and look at the main problem. I'm not your problem. You're not my problem. The problem is the
Exactly.
problem. Let's fix it. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. That's a smart thing to do. Now, at the beginning, you mentioned, when you send out an email, you like to send a an
And
agenda of what is to be discussed and everything. How do you then handle stakeholders who come to your sessions unprepared? They didn't look at the agenda, if there were any documents attached for them to read, and sort of have like a pre-knowledge of what is going to be talked about. They didn't do that. And then they come to the session. And then there are other ones that keep changing their mind during the session. They'll tell you this, they say, oh, I'm actually, you know what? Let's forget about the other thing I told you. Can we add an elephant to this thing? And then when you say yes, they now still push you further by giving you another request completely different from the other one. So we have two guys, one that is unprepared, another one that keeps changing his mind. How do you handle this guy so that at the end you have a productive requirement gathering session?
when you were saying that, like I just laughed, because it's like the classic stakeholder shuffle dance. Because no matter how much you try to dot your I's, cross your T's, you would always encounter those guys. Like there are some people that they just naturally set out to say, you see this business analysis thing, I'm gonna frustrate you. Like you
They
just
were born
have
for it. They were, they were born for it.
your village people, like your village people came came in their form. But yeah, I just feel like it's like a normal, it's just like when you're for project managers, when you're preparing for projects, you plan for unwanted, or you plan for all those risks, right? So I think it's also with business analysis, there will be stakeholders who are not interested in what you're trying to solve, in the solution that you're trying, or some they're just they're just really not interested. I'm just here just because of I'm collecting salary. I need to be here. They're really literally not really interested. So I'll say I've learned that stakeholders aren't bad people really. Like I said, there are some that are really not interested. They they are just busy, or some are distracted, or sometimes they are really like unsure of what they really want. So some they may literally see the agenda, and they just maybe they don't take it seriously, or they don't just even know what they want. So because I know I had like one manager who kept changing her mind, like this one, like she says this today, she says another thing tomorrow, like every single session she has different ideas to share or different things to say. And it was really frustrating. Like at first I was really frustrated, but then I realized that our constant changes were maybe signals that we hadn't uncovered like the real need yet. So it was really frustrating at
Mm.
first because we it's really really crazy because sometimes she comes today, she says this she wants this, she comes tomorrow, she says another thing. So I think in that situation, because especially maybe because I remember in her case, she was like a very critical player in the project that I wanted to do then. So I started using like packing lots for ideas in the sense that I introduced a simple rule. So we would basically like explore everything, but we'll lock scope once we validate it. So for example, she comes in today and says, this we want to do this. Tomorrow she comes in and say, oh, we want to do this. So we would explore all that because she's important. She's a key stakeholder. Then while exploring all those ideas, when we want to like lock scope, one wants to like settle like for the scope that we were going to focus on, then we're going to like validate that the critical one, so that she's also put in the loops. Okay, you mentioned this and all of that, and by so doing I make sure like after every end of the meeting, like I agree on action points. Okay, this is what we're doing going forward. So I also made it a point to like send clear pre-reads and follow up after each session, so that every stakeholder that is involved in that meeting understand, so that in that way no one could say, oh, I didn't think of that earlier, oh, I didn't think is that. So I think the best way to deal with those kind of people that read your agenda, no matter how much you try to be perfect to carry everyone along, it's see this job is part patience. You need a lot of patience, structure,
Mm.
and honestly, like half of the time, the prep and follow up emails, they really do a lot of magic, because sometimes somebody may even come to the meeting, maybe they just quarreled with their wife and they're not interested in what you're saying. So that sending like meeting follow-ups, action points, those mails. So even when they don't, maybe for example, they were not paying attention to all the things you were blabbing all through, definitely maybe when they have a clearer head, they will definitely look at that. So yeah, that really helps a lot.
Hmm. Okay. It looks like we have the same stakeholders across the world. I mean, I've spoken with a lot of guys and their behaviors are the same
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, seriously.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's amazing how you are able to manage them. And one thing I know for sure is business analysts would find a way to manage their stakeholders,
Yeah,
depending
that's
on
the
the
job.
stakeholder type. Yeah. So you just have to, and the one thing that's annoying about it is you have to beat in first before you understand. So you
Seriously.
you you learn from, oh, okay, so I need to handle these guys this way. Then you develop a strategy for how to handle them.
Okay. Yeah,
It's all
that's
right.
mm-hmm.
Let's slow it down a little bit and play a game.
Okay.
All right. So usually during our sessions we play a game and um we want you to fail. Right. So it's a very difficult game and we
I
want you
don't
to
like to fail.
okay, so it's you against us now. Right. So the name of this game is requirement or rubbish. All right. Requirement or rubbish. I'm going to read a statement and then you're going to tell me if it's a real requirement or it is absolute trash.
Okay. Just
Are
kidding.
we good to go?
Super.
All right, number one, the app must work perfectly even when there's no internet and still sync in real time. The app must work perfectly even when there's no internet and still sync in real time. Requirements
Rubbish.
or rubbish?
Rubbish.
Are you sure?
Rubbish. How would he
Think
sync
about
without internet? That's
it.
rubbish.
It's actually a requirement.
Really?
Yeah.
How would it work perfectly and sync in real time
Hmm.
without internet?
It will sync when the internet is back.
You didn't say that part.
It will work when there is no internet and sync. in real time when internet comes back. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's for us to figure out how we're going to make it work. So don't worry, the app is still working, right? Don't We'll think about the syncing later. So it's a real
Okay.
requirement. It can be done.
Okay.
One
Okay.
zero. Oh, I'm so happy. 1-0.
Well, what you did there.
Okay, next one. We want you to fail, so you have to be careful. Listen well.
I'm not gonna fail again. I don't like to fail.
All right. The payment process should finish before the customer even clicks pay. The payment process should finish before the customer even clicks pay. Requirements or rubbish?
Rubbish. Mhm. Rubbish.
Okay. Yeah, it's rubbish.
How would the payment session finish? I could help them pay. Or how will they pay?
Okay, that's fine. You caught us this time around. 1-1. Okay. The next one is please make the system bilingual. Please, I'm still reading. Please make the system bilingual, English and emoji. Please make
English
the
and
system
what?
bilingual, emoji.
Like emoji, smiley, all those
Yes,
things.
yeah, yeah. Requirement or rubbish?
What does emoji mean? Is that a language to you? I have to, okay, that's a requirement. But what does emoji mean? Maybe it could mean a language to you, but
Let me
requirements.
read it again. Please make the system bilingual.
Okay.
So by bilingual, they mean
So,
English and emoji.
okay.
So is that a
Requirements.
requirement or rubbish?
Requirements.
I'm happy to tell you that it's rubbish.
Why? How is it rubbish? Bilingual. It could mean
But there's just
emoji
one
could mean.
language. English is the only language. Emojis are it's not a language, at least.
What about if emojis mean something to them? To in what
Yeah,
they are
but
trying to create?
emoji is not a language. I mean, everybody across languages can understand emojis.
Maybe that is to them, to the stakeholder, it means something to them.
Emoji
Yes,
is not a language. And this
no,
is rubbish. It's
maybe
not a requirement.
maybe the stakeholder wants something. Maybe emoji means okay, there's English and there's something. Okay, actually,
Mm,
no. Thinking of this.
because it could be English and French, English and Spanish, Spanish
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Portuguese and all of that.
rubbish actually.
Okay. So we got you. 2-1.
No, no.
Next one.
Okay.
Next one. The website must look exactly like our competitors, but better. The website must look exactly like our competitors, but better. Requirements or rubbish?
What are the specifications of your competitors' website? Rubbish.
It's actually a requirement.
How is it a requirement?
It's benchmarking. So you already have something to benchmark. So your requirement is your competitor's website, exactly the way it is, but better. So you're
What?
benchmarking.
That's why I said, is there like a criteria for judging your competitors' website?
You're basically not judging, you're copying. Copying what they are doing because basically you guys offer the same services. Like let's say
Mhm.
banking apps, for example,
Yeah,
the services are the same. The only difference is the user experience, right? So you
yeah,
say,
sure.
okay, I want Bank of America, my app to look like Bank of America's app, but better. So it means what I'm going to put inside will be the customer experience that'll make it better
Yeah,
for them.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Okay, we're winning. 3-1. Why am I
No
so happy?
way. All the questions are like 50 so that I can redeem myself.
Okay, listen carefully now,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
The form should allow unlimited file uploads, but
Mhm.
each file must be under 1 kilobyte. The form should allow unlimited file uploads, but each file should be under 1 kilobyte. Requirement or rubbish?
That's tricky.
So look at the keywords: unlimited uploads,
Mm-hmm.
but a file should
One
be
kilobyte.
below
Yeah,
one
that's you
kilobyte.
are restricting it now. Unlimited and 1 kilobyte. Why are you restricting the
The
files? That's
requirement.
rubbish.
Oh, you got it. Rubbish. Yeah, because you can. Have you tried to reduce a file to 50 kilobytes
Yeah.
before?
Hmm.
Then you think of one
It's
kilobyte.
not going to be so. Nah, it's not going to be good. It's rubbish.
Yeah, that's rubbish. Okay, great. Yeah, you're coming up. You're coming up. Next one. But the
Hmm.
questions get trickier, you know,
Okay.
as we go, the questions get trickier. So we want we want AI that can tell if a customer is lying and then politely call them out. We want AI that can tell if a customer is lying and then politely call them out. Requirement or rubbish?
Requirement.
Ah, requirement or rubbish?
Requirement. Oh. Yeah. Yes. Requirement.
It's rubbish.
How? What if I decide to build an AI that can detect if a customer is lying and call them out? Calling them out could be sending them a mail, detect that, oh, you lied, and send them a mail telling them they lied. I called them out and I detected that they lied. Why did you
We're
go
still
quiet?
listening.
In this world of AI, there's a time I was trying, and people are vibe coding and doing a lot of great things. Even I think for me
Mhm.
personally, there's a time I was trying to vibe code to build an in-app for me to help newbies that are trying to learn, and it was working. So what about if I now decide to build an AI that could detect if someone is lying and calling
Oh,
them out to by sending, oh, I detected that Tesla lied to me. Okay, after you
mm,
detected he lied, calling him out, just send him a mail telling him, I saw what you did. That's not correct. You lied at this place. I detected you lied and I called you out by sending you a mail.
mm. So how are you going to tell if I'm lying to you right now? So you know the AI would work on databases, right? Information that is available. So I'm telling you something new, like about maybe how I feel about your product. How can you tell if I'm lying or not? Because there's no data about how I feel about your product anywhere else, except maybe there is somewhere,
So
you know.
we're gonna decide how we want to configure that. Do we want it configured to our web, our database, or the way you're talking to me? So am I gonna have it
Is it my
configured
brain
to
you are going to
call?
be picking or something?
No, as you're saying the words, maybe they're recording the call or something. It may not be immediately. It's not like
So what do you compare it against? You know.
I know the truth now.
Okay, it's actually rubbish. For the purpose of
No.
this game, it's rubbish.
Okay, is it for the purpose of this game?
It's actually yeah, it's rubbish. We may look for a way to find it, make it possible, but I don't think that an AI can know what you're thinking and tell if it's true or false, except it makes
Never say
reference to
never.
data
A lot of people are building things.
when
So
we get there. But for
watch,
today,
watch,
it's rubbish.
watch the lie you lie because AI is coming for you.
Mm, until then, okay. The next one says we need a chatbot that
Okay,
speaks Shakespearean English. We need
okay,
a chatbot that speaks Shakespearean English. Requirement or rubbish?
that's a requirement.
Ah, are you sure?
A chatbot. Okay, a
That's
chatbot that speaks
Shakespearean English.
like verbally speak because I know the way chatbot works, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can select your language and they would respond. So is it
So
when
this
you say speaks like
you're a-
speak?
you're asking me back. It says we need a chatbot that speaks in Shakespearean English. Requirement or
Speak
rubbish?
could mean speaking to me the way you're speaking to me, or speaking to me by when
You're
I'm
becoming
chatting with you.
political with this thing.
Or you say that communicates in Shakespearean English or that speaks in Shakespeare. So that's like two
S-
things.
Speaks. This
Okay,
one
that
says
speaks.
speaks
Rubbish.
Shakespearean English. Okay, finally we're on the same page. It's rubbish.
Exactly. Like if it's that communicates in Shakespearean English, okay.
Mm,
But when you say speaks, I know chatbot is like you're chatting, it's not speaking to you. So that's
exactly. It's enabled.
yeah.
All right, next one. Can we make the app so intuitive that we don't need to train anyone ever? Can we make the app so intuitive that we don't need to train anyone ever? Requirement or rubbish?
Rubbish.
Think about it. Requirement or rubbish?
I don't need to train anyone ever.
To use the app. Like it's intuitive enough that you don't need to train anyone.
That's it's like easy to use.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just in my head, I'm just like, is it possible to create an app that is so intuitive that you don't need to, even if you don't train people, they are like FAQs on how to navigate. Okay, it could be it's a requirement. It depends on how super your app is. So it can be possible. It's not like it can never be possible. So that's a requirement though.
Okay. It is
Don't tell me
unfortunately a requirement.
I'm gonna
It's a
arrest you.
requirement. It's a requirement. Yeah. Because I know you've seen these apps where when you log in, it tells you to take a tour and it tells just takes you around and tells you
I think
where everything
most
is. Yeah.
apps do that. Yeah, most apps do
Yeah.
that.
So you can just take it further and make it more intuitive that people
Yeah,
don't need to you don't need to train them to use it. They can just come in and use it. All right,
yeah.
next one. We're getting close to the end. Our
Okay.
system should
How many do we have now? Let me know. I've not been
I've
keeping
lost
track.
count, but I'm
But I've been
winning.
winning, I'm winning.
I'm winning.
I'm winning, please.
All right, our system should automatically read customers' mind to predict their next purchase. Our system should automatically read customers' minds to predict their next purchase.
How can you read their mind? That's rubbish. No,
Oh, so when you were saying AI can detect liars, it was true.
now in this case, you've given me the context now that it's what's possible right now. If it's maybe in
Mm,
future, I can say that's a requirement because we can create
mhm.
AIs that will do that. But if it's in this case, that's rubbish.
Okay, complete rubbish. Next one and the last one, but not the least. Our CRM must integrate with every tool in the market, even the ones that do not exist yet.
Okay,
Real,
that's it.
is
Okay.
that a requirement or rubbish? Think about it. Our CRM must integrate with every tool in the market, even the ones that don't exist yet. Requirement or rubbish?
It's a requirement now. You're projecting for the future so that when it exists, our CRM will adapt to it.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I'm sure. We are thinking ahead, smart investor moves. So that
Mm,
when they develop those other ones, our own will adapt to it.
the kind of stakeholders you have been meeting with, I'm sure it's actually rubbish. We don't know the system composition of the ones that don't exist yet. So how can we build something that will integrate with them? So it's rubbish. And I'm glad
How
that I
is it
won.
rubbish?
It's 6-4.
Never. That's like 6'5".
6-4.
Okay. I give it. I just allowed you because it's your podcast. I allowed you like that too.
Thank you for allowing. Yeah,
You're
but
welcome.
it was
Don't
an interesting one.
don't
Requirements
mention.
are
We don't do that here. We don't do
requirements
that
are
here.
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then s- uh, some stakeholders will tell you, "I've seen where it's done before," and it's an outright lie. They didn't see done
Yeah.
anywhere. And he tell them, "Give me references. Let me see. Let me go and see what was done." Say, "I don't know. Go and check. Share you at the BA." But you told me it was done somewhere. I said it's. I don't think it's ever been done. You said it's been done. So show me. Let me see. It's crazy, but we always get to win. So how was that? Was that
So it's
did you
really good.
learn
Like
anything?
yeah. He really like opened my mind to some very, very funny requirements that you get to hear or you get to see that they're trying to find a way around it, where you can just call it out straight out and say, guy, this is rubbish. We can't do
This
this.
won't work. Instead of wasting your time. Yeah.
Because I think for me as a person, I think in my personal life, I have this can do mindset, even in the
Possibility
place that
mindset.
you say
Mm.
there is no way. I said there is a way. So yeah, this just give me that light bulb moment that there are some things you just don't even stress your head and just say, see guy, this is rubbish. Let's not do
Let's
this.
move on.
Let's move on to better things, save our energy to better important things. So yeah, this was really good. Thanks for this game.
All right, thank you. So, back to our questions. I think that you've answered this question before, but I'll
Okay.
ask you again.
Yeah.
So what are those things that you do when a requirement session is going sideways? What are those things that you do that saves you and brings everybody back on board? I know you mentioned you use whiteboard to illustrate,
Mhm.
and draw, give visuals to the situation so everybody can see, and it brings them back on board. Are there any other tools that you've used in the past that helps you to bring everybody back on board during a chaos in a requirement gathering session?
Okay. I would say I think honestly, whiteboards like I mentioned and sticky notes are really important because people underestimate how powerful visual collaboration can be. And I think for me, because I once worked with a team where requirement documents had become this monster because sometimes you have documents of 30 pages, 50 pages of jargon. No one really wants to read because people have very short attention span. No one wants to read anything. So I remember them, I ditched like that kind of big document for a workshop where everybody literally sat, map like user journeys with those sticky notes. And suddenly, like light bulb, everybody was having like light bulb moments. Ideas were flying up and down, and people were like, that's why, that's why we need this report. So that people were beginning to see things that they didn't even think of. So and but of course, I use tools like Miro. Yeah, I use Miro. I use Lucy Chart or even Excel for maybe like to do like my traceability, my requirement traceability matrix. But the real trick is like is in simplification. It doesn't need to be so complex because sometimes people feel maybe when you do like a very detailed, I use Miro, I use Excel to do like one very a magnanimous document. See, guys, it doesn't need to be so hard. It's even like in the simple things, as long as you can communicate very complex things to stakeholders in a very simple way. Because most times these guys are not even like really tech savvy. They are just some of them are just lucky to be in that place or to be in some like real top positions that they have to like make key decisions. So and I think they literally need every bit of simplicity they can get in maybe conveying like complex informations or complex ideas to them. So that's why you are there as a business analyst, as a project manager, or whatever that you are in. So because if people can literally see it and see how the idea fits into the big picture, it's easier to understand, it's easier to move around, and they understand it better. And also, you as the BA on the project, it saves you a lot of time, energy, and care. So, yeah, basically, the summary is simplify your ideas, use anything that works for you. There are several tools that you, especially now that there's even AI, like there are a million and one tools that you can use. But for me, I think I'm still a visual person. I love visualization a lot because I feel when people can visualize things, it just makes the job a whole lot easier and better. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Simplify. I mean, and you talked about workshops. Most of my students think I like workshop because of the jollof rice that we eat when we get to workshop.
Oh, you guys
But
eat jollof rice.
yeah,
Please,
what's a workshop without food? So
oh,
when I organize workshops for my stakeholders, I feed them twice, breakfast and lunch,
please, can
so
I
that
be
they're
part of your stakeholders?
so that they are on a full stomach and they feel like they owe me.
Won't
After
they
eating
sleep?
this,
Won't
yeah,
they sleep off? They'll
no, no,
sleep.
no. No, we give them light, very light food in the morning, and then towards the end of the session, they take their jollof rice home, right?
Mm.
So if it makes them feel like they owe you, I've eaten this guy's food. Let me give him the information he needs, you know. And then the fact that it brings everybody together away from their work, not just like virtual collaboration, and it helps us see the picture, so bring everything to the table, guys. This is the what we're trying to achieve. This is the vision. Let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Let's contribute. What's your If there are any conflicts between one stakeholder group and the other, just try to settle those things, and then we move ahead. It helps a lot. I like workshops.
Yeah.
Maybe the jollof rice more, but I like workshops. It helps us, settle things.
Yeah.
You've kind of answered my next question, but I'll still ask it anyway. What's your advice for a business analyst who want to have a smooth requirement gathering session? What's that golden rule you're going to give the person to say, okay, do this, and your session is going to be smooth all the time?
Okay. I'll say I have a golden rule which I talk about. I share this all the time, even on LinkedIn, everywhere. I say this all the time. So my golden rule is don't just listen to what stakeholders say, listen for what they mean. Because
Mm,
requirements I'm gonna say that again.
mm.
I'm gonna say that again because it looks like I'm dropping. don't
Yeah,
just
you're
listen,
dropping. You're dropping.
don't just listen to what stakeholders say, listen for what they mean, because requirements gathering isn't just about capturing words, because sometimes we feel, oh, I want to record the meeting so that I capture everything that needs to be said. It's literally about uncovering like the needs, the fears, and sometimes the unspoken expectations, because of course, for the fact that a business has decided to embark on a project, they have expectations of what they want to achieve. Because for example, a stakeholder might say, oh, I need weekly reports, but what they actually really mean is, I don't just maybe trust the data unless I can see it regularly. So most times they say something and they mean something else. So, and if you miss that, you basically deliver like something else. Maybe in the case of the report, you deliver a report, but you still have literally an unhappy stakeholder. And I'm very sure you don't want that. So
or,
I'll say
or maybe they don't even want the report. What they want is visibility into what's happening in that area, right?
exactly.
Not even a weekly. The weekly report may not even change. The report may not change week on week, but they want visibility, right? So, I mean, I'm just catching up on what you're saying, right?
Yeah. So I would say I'll tell every BA, whether you're new, whether you're experienced, and listen beyond the surface. Always ask the second question. It's okay to pause, it's okay to probe further, because that's how you move from just being a note taker to being a real partner in solving business problems. So instead of just trying to take notes, don't just focus your energy on trying to note down or write down everything that you're hearing, but it's okay to pause, ask question, and probe further. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Dear business analysts, do not be a note taker. Thank you very
Don't.
much for saying that. I mean, it's very very spot on. You've been amazing. Like you've been dropping gems back to back, and we really really do appreciate you. But before you go, wrapping up now. Before you go, you can just drop a word or two with us. Maybe something we should look out for, what you're doing, or um, follow you on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Just your parting words for us.
Um. Okay. I would say regardless of wherever you are in your career journey, whether you're starting out, whether you're a mid-level professional, you're an expert, regardless of wherever you are in your journey, I would say if you're just starting out, don't give up, hang in there. It's interesting. I think for me the best part about being a business analyst is being able to move from ideas to seeing the thing that was just an idea to being like a real-time solution that people can feel, touch, and use. So like there's this fulfillment that I was part of that. So it's really good. So regardless of wherever you are in your career journey, everything is going to be fine. I don't want to sound like aspire to perspire right now. But yeah, and don't stop learning, because right now I feel like, I think I made a post some days back about a BA role right now. You need to have Python, this one, SQL, a lot of data. And sometimes I want like, do you want a data engineer or you want a business analyst? So regardless of how the world is changing or shifting, don't stop learning, don't stop upskilling, because personal development is personal responsibility. And yeah, you got this. Well, for if you want to connect to me, I'm Dominica Izunobi on LinkedIn. On and the Dominica Diaries on Instagram. I share content for new business analysts, aspiring business analysts, mid-level career business analysts. If you're looking for a roadmap, maybe you're a newbie completely, you don't even know what this whole BA thing, maybe you stumbled upon this podcast. You don't even know what this BA thing, or you're confused about the tech skill to pick. I have an ebook for you, the Tech Career Breakthrough Blueprint. You should get that. You should get that, and it will give you clarity on where to even start. In case all this rambling, me and Tessa did is too much BB grammar for you, you can get that too. To simplify where you want to start from. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. So Dominica is gonna be on LinkedIn. Please follow and catch up. She drops a whole lot
And I
of
have
content every day.
sorry, one more thing. I have a budding community. So in case you're thinking of you're confused, I have a little circle, the business analysis circle, for also business analysts where we share one or two gems for business analysts and we grow together. So you can check that out. So yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. So you guys got that. Let's connect, please. Let's connect. I believe that nobody can do it in isolation. I have the sessions because I know that business analysts sharing their story would help other business analysts also be effective on their jobs as well. Thank you very much for coming today, Dominica. We appreciate you,
Thank you
and
for
we know that
having
you're going to come back when we ask you. Maybe we're going to fly you over to Lagos for the next one.
me.